Honorable the President,
We may well be the smallest in terms of population amongst the current BRICS members. And yes, our economy is the smallest of all these BRICS countries currently, but we are highly regarded. We're highly placed. And the fact that our trade with all these countries has grown exponentially, and that our exports to China, be it on the agricultural side, and that too is about to go up a number of billions, means that they see us as an important player, and we are the most industrialized country on the African continent. We are the one country on the African continent that is able to manufacture the type of goods that they too would need, much as we import from them as China. Our dealings, for instance, with Brazil are still at the nascent level. And when we begin to trade more seriously with President Lula da Silva now in power and wanting to interact economically more and more with Africa, we are going to see our exports as well, yes, our exports growing with those countries. So much as we are smaller by population, and we often say that, yes, maybe we are boxing way above our weight level, but we are seen, and indeed we are a very important player, not only in the terms of Africa, but in the global South. In the global South, South Africa is seen as an important player, and we are actually an important player, and we are not arrogant about it. We do not throw our small weight around, but we do know that when we do speak, a number of countries do listen. When we do act, they do look, and that is the position that South Africa has today.
the last supplementary question will be asked by the Honorable A.M. Sheikh Imam.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Allow me to apologize for not being physically in the House. I'm not well. But, Mr. President, allow me to congratulate you on one of the most successful and remarkable BRICS. Are you there? Can you hear me, Chair, Honorable Speaker?
Yes, you are very audible, Honorable.
Allow me to congratulate you on one of the most remarkable BRICS summits ever held. Now, Mr. President, I am not expecting you to be surprised at the comments from my predecessors. You can see they are restless, they have anxiety, because for the first time in the world, there might be peace, security, prosperity. But what stood up for me, Mr. President, is when you made a statement and the interest you showed particularly for the African continent. Could you tell us, you know, we say that the country belongs to all who live in it, the wealth of the country belongs to the people. And this is what my colleagues have just forgotten, that the mineral wealth of this country currently is owned by the West. How do we intend dealing with this so South Africans and Africans at large can benefit more from the wealth of their respective countries? And I know you addressed the issue also about finished goods instead of selling raw materials.
Thank you, Honorable Sheikh. The Honorable the President.
Thank you, Honorable Sheikh. Yes, indeed. More and more of us as African countries on the continent are beginning to look more introspectively at how the people of our continent can benefit more from the mineral wealth that is beneath the African soil. And with this in mind, all of us are now saying we would like to be exporting finished products rather than just rock and sand and dust. And that's precisely what we are now seeking to achieve. And interestingly, even some of those countries that have had ownership of our minerals and are exploiting them are now beginning to awaken to the reality that it is no longer sustainable for us as Africans just to be exporting rock and soil, and that we now need to move to another level where if you extract minerals out of our soil, you should also be able to set up a process where those minerals are processed. We had a conversation amongst premiers just a few days ago, and the premier of the Northern Cape, where our country has a lot of minerals from manganese to iron ore and many others. And he was saying, we need to be seeing more and more benefit, because he would like to get us to a point where, yes, we now export more finished products. And all of us subscribe to that. And we now want to move in that direction. What is it going to take? It's going to take us in, yes, attracting investments into our country, but also saying to those investors, as you wish to invest in all extractive sectors of our economy, we would like the downstream aspect as well. So it should almost be like twin investments. But we've also suggested that on our African continent, we should have something like a minerals commission, so that all of us as Africa should more or less have universal policies or policies that we all agree on how we deal with the endowments that we have with regards to minerals. And we will all recall how our own mining industry started here. Our own mining industry started off with Europeans coming to South Africa, coming to invest, and the wealth that truly belongs to the people of South Africa has been taken out. It's now in Europe or in the Northern Hemisphere. We do need to reverse that. The wealth of our country must remain in our country, and if we do make products, we must make well-finished products to be exported. We are now going to see a new revolution, and it's a revolution that even young people are talking to. And the time for that has now arrived. We must start manufacturing finished products from our own minerals for export to other countries. This is now the time. Thank you.